Hello, Talk Funders. Today, again, we're joined by Lloyd and Darianne, looking at their Pharos product, which is coming live on Kickstarter. All the relevant links will be in the video description below.
I guess give a quick demo, if that's all right. So yeah, here we have Pharos. And then here's what the packaging will look like. Probably get a better view once I move the camera back. So I guess to begin, Pharos comes in various different timing schedules. So the ones that we currently have available are once a day, twice a day, 3 times a day, and 4 times a day. And I'm going to quickly guide you through what a setup would look like. So let's say I get some medication from my pharmacist. I'm ready to start tracking it. I have my Pharos, just unboxed it, and I'm ready to go. And let's say I want to start taking these around 8 a.m. And it's close to 8 a.m. right now. When it's time, I simply plug in Pharos, like so. So that startup chime lets you know that Pharos is ready to begin doing what it needs to do. So at 8 o'clock, I take my medicine, place it in Pharos. The flashing stops, no more sound. And right now, Pharos is doing its thing, it's tracking right now. This is a demo device, so it will go off again pretty soon. But during this time, pretend 24 hours are passing right now. We're waiting. And then you'll see that once it starts flashing again like this, it's time again for us to take our medicine. Again, pick it up, take it, and put it back down. The end. That's Pharos. That is literally it at this point.
There is, go ahead, Darren.
For different types of medication that are of odd sizes or shapes, Pharos can manage those too. So here we have this insert ring that can be removed, and we can use it to insert wider medicine containers like this. Manages it the same way. And then things that are more oddly shaped, so for like medicine boxes, we have this adapter here that has an adhesive that you can then stick onto the bottom of medicine containers like this. And using that adhesive that's already on this box here, you can place it in Pharos, manage it the same way. And it's all very easy, very quick, very simple. Lloyd, you wanted to add something?
Except that there is a power light that's on the front of Pharos that lets you know that there is power, that there's something happening with Pharos at all times. These are very important aspect of the device. In addition to the fact that we always ask people to cross-check it with another timepiece, just for their own comfort. It's 8 o'clock, it should go off, or you take it and you look to see, it's 4 o'clock. Okay, everything is going good. It helps you, especially through the first few cycles, because for the first time people are looking at a timepiece or using a timepiece that has no display. The confidence level needs to be built up. But of course, we use the same principle with our cell phones. We're not always looking at it, but the alarm goes off and we know that there is something that we're supposed to do at that point. So Pharos just removes a lot of the preamble in relation to using timers. And that I find is a very unique advantage because very few people want to be bothered with setting times. I don't know if Alan, you remember those flashing VCRs that would flash throughout the lifetime of the unit. Nobody wants to stop to fix it. So we recognize that as a challenge, and we have provided a solution.
And can I just ask, I think that's really interesting. It's like, it's ABC technology. I love it. So say if you have to take medicine, say twice a day, so we use the example of 8 o'clock in the morning and maybe 8 o'clock at night and then 8 o'clock the next morning. So how would that operate then? So talk me through that. Would I just switch Pharos on, say at 8 o'clock in the morning thing and put the medicine in? Would it? Yep. Is there a dial where I set? Is there a dial that I say alarm to go off every 12 hours, or how does that work?
Yeah. So since they are all preset, you would buy the Pharos that's scheduled for twice a day. And for twice a day medication, we have 12-hour intervals. So when you just saw me put that Pharos in at 8 o'clock, 12 hours later, which would be 8 p.m., then Pharos will alert again to let you know to take your medicine. And again, pick it up, put it back down, and you're good to go. A very cool feature about Pharos is that it also makes sure that you're able to have a minimum amount of window between each medication dosage. So again, if I take the example of something that I take at 8 o'clock in the morning, but I was busy, I forgot about it. Or not that I forgot about it, but I was maybe outside of the house for a little while. I come back in at 10 o'clock and I see Pharos is flashing. When I take the medication and put it back down, Pharos knows that there's a 2-hour gap, and the next alert will be set still 12 hours later at 10 o'clock p.m. So there's still that minimum safe window that's still there, and Pharos will automatically adjust to account for it.
Fantastic. And then, as you were saying in the main interview, the idea of using one Pharos, or even having a say in the pledges, you're offering like 2 or 4. So what you're saying is, say you can buy one unit which is marked. I suppose there's probably a label on it saying 24 hours, and then you would buy a second one, which I think was, correct me if wrong, was for $72 in terms of pledging in the early birds. That one could be, say, a 12-hour timer or every 4-hour timer. Is that correct?
Right. So yeah. So I think if I remember correctly, it's twice a day, every 12 hours, 3 times a day, every 5 hours, and then 4 times a day, which would be every 4 hours. Yeah.
And so was the secret in the sauce is just making sure that whenever you or the person helping you, whether your relative or a medical professional in your home is helping you, to make sure that if it's, say, there's a start time of, say, 8 o'clock every morning, and that the 24-hour one goes in, and then the every 4-hour one goes in. Fantastic, guys. I love it, because it's like, it really is hands-off technology. It's just like, power it up. And as you were saying, Lloyd, I get it now. I really got it now. The penny has finally dropped. And that's why, Lloyd, you were emphasizing that the power light, as long as you can see the power light's on, everything's going, and Pharos will just keep on doing its thing throughout the 24-hour cycles, 7 days a week, and ongoing over the weeks and months.
Yes. Yeah. And we have addressed a number of concerns with medicine usage, because previously, and I don't know if you're aware of it, generally on a medication bottle, it advises that if you're late, skip a dose. What I found from my own personal experiences is that, I might oversleep, wake up, I should have taken it at 8 o'clock. It's now 10 o'clock. If I skip that dose, because I'm supposed to take it to 12, I'm supposed to take the 12 o'clock dose. Now, God forbid something happens and I'm late for that dose again. I'm pushed further and I'm thinking, well, I got to take it again at 5. What should I do? It can really become a problem. You end up taking one dose for a 3 times a day medication. Pharos eliminates that concern and allows you, if you're late, it's 10 o'clock, okay, you take your medication, it pushes it to 2 o'clock. You take the first one and you take the second dose, and it pushes the normal time difference to the third dose. So you're able to take all your doses in a given day. Generally at midnight, it resets itself so that if there's any lateness, it starts over at the appointed time of 8 o'clock the next day. One of the cool features that we have is the ability to have powerful alerts that are continuous until you pick up the container. It's no like silencing your cell phone and forgetting about it, and then you turn around, you really didn't take the medication. With Pharos, that to silence that alert, you must pick up that bottle. And that is one of the features, one of the things that we know is a powerful solution, because so many people tell me, well, I think about my medication, the phone rings, I can't remember if I took it or not. And that can be a problem. So we found that just having to touch the bottle is a very important feature.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think just to expand on that, I think sometimes there's a tendency to see Pharos without seeing like a video and just immediately think, oh, I can use an app, or oh, I've used pillboxes, or oh, I've seen smart dispensers that can do something. Again, the critical thing of keeping medicine in its original container and having to touch it in order to silence it is something that no other device really does. As Lloyd just mentioned, things like phones and apps, very easy to ignore or forget about. Also alarms, or you just silence it and then you don't touch your medication. This is just what happens. You know, people are busy, they forget. Pillboxes, yeah. Pillboxes, you remove things from the original containers, and then you have to have a separate alarm that you probably have on your phone that, again, you'll ignore. Dispensing machines, expensive, large, complicated. No one really wants to set that up. And then there's also a lot of problems regarding the small moving parts that are involved. And again, it only manages pills. And then lastly, small attachable battery timers that you may get for some medication. Using that battery power produces very weak alerts, and then you have to worry about battery life. And then they also have complicated setups and screens and all that. So Pharos is, again, trying to get around all of those issues that are common on products today.
And it really is low wattage. I'm sure it's just like micro USB, as you were saying, isn't it?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
And you can actually you can get one, as you were saying in the main interview, you just get a USB splitter so it can charge, one USB cable can charge your 2 or 3, 4 units.
Yeah.
Simultaneously, yes.
Darren, would it be possible just to lift the product up again, just to maybe finish off the deep dive, just to have a look, just to go around it? Like, that would be my only question, is how is it then labeled? So if you have 2 of them, which one do you know is a 24-hour one and which one's a 12-hour one?
So yeah, there's a symbol. So there's the Onum label on the corner here.
Yes.
And then there's a symbol. It's kind of hard to see, but
okay,
essentially that symbol tells you what the interval is. So this one is currently 4 times per day. And then as you buy the packaging itself, on the bottom here, it's very clear. It tells you how many times per day, and then the timing interval. And then again, that same symbol is located right here on the front of the packaging. And on the back, it'll show you all the available ones that we have available.
And actually, that actually takes us back to the Kickstarter page, which will be linked in the video description below. Because I remember seeing those that examples of the timing, etc., is actually on the Kickstarter page. So I encourage all the talk funders and Kickstarters to go and have a look at the Kickstarter page and the very informative video gifts and the campaign video itself. Is that really us covered with the deep dive, folks? Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Not specifically, except the fact that this is a new way of looking at a medication management problem. While there might have been some attempt in the past using pill cap with timers to address the actual container problem, those were very limited in the possibilities. With timers you can hear, only for certain types of bottles. But what we are bringing, it becomes universal, and we give you power, more power than you can use. Power continuously until you pick up that container. That sort of possibility was not there before. So this unique approach will make a difference in how people use medication.
Well, fantastic. A great product, guys. So thank you very much for joining us in this deep dive today. We're actually going to follow on with the backstory interview next. So if you click through, you can watch that. And I'm really going to dive into these guys' entrepreneurial journey. And they were just saying off camera that this is only one of their first series of products that they're launching through their company. OM, is that right? Am I pronouncing it right, Darian?
Onum.
Onum, which is on the packaging. So please click through to watch the backstory next. Thank you so much, guys. Bye now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.